I'm Ken Koelsch, and we're joined today with Athletic Director Larry Holstad. The Winona State men's basketball team received some disappointing news this week. The team's second leading scorer, Grant Johnson, has been ruled ineligible for the remainder of the season, and the Warriors had 13 games nullified. Now with us today is Winona State Athletic Director Larry Holstad. First off, Larry, thank you for joining us. Could you please briefly take us through what happened leading up to this decision?
Well, Ken, thanks for giving me an opportunity to explain what kind of took place. The basic thing that happened was that we were notified that there was potential use of an ineligible player. We went back and looked at all of our records, and it was determined at the time that it was right, that we had used an ineligible player. We then self-reported to the NCAA, which is the normal process, and then we had to go through some paperwork in order to determine what was going to happen for the team and in the future.
Great, thank you. So kind of seeing Coach Leaf, I mean, it was obviously disappointing to hear this. How has it been to see them react to this and kind of rally around and move forward with the rest of their season?
Well, and that's been the hard part for the team because obviously they've played so well together. They've done some things, and the bottom line is the coaches and the players and the student athlete involved here did nothing wrong. We had cleared the student athlete. They've played hard. The hard part for them, I think, came when they weren't sure what was going to happen. Right. And once that became known, I think they have rallied together as a team. It makes it somewhat more difficult, but now they know what they have to do to accomplish the goals they set out from the beginning of the year. We've been so appreciative of the fans, of the students, the community that have stepped up and supported this group of young men and coaching staff that has proven in the past that they can do a great and accomplish a lot of the things that they hope to have happen for the community and themselves.
Right. And in the end, their goal that they set out is still accomplishable at this point.
All of the goals that they set out to have happen this year, for the most part, except the conference championship, are still attainable. They still have it within their control. There's still two options for them to get into the a chance to qualify to get into the regional tournament and eventually advance to the final or Elite Eight later in the year.
Right, great. And Larry, you've been very upfront throughout this whole process. We just want to, clarify: is there any repercussions, or is there anything that we'll do from here on out to prevent this thing in the future?
Absolutely. We are going through all of our rules and regulations again. We do that every 5 years. We went through it a couple of years ago. We are going back over and reviewing everything. We'll bring in somebody even from the outside to look and say, okay, how did this happen and what was the place that this happened to? So it's something that sometimes seems so simple, but it becomes very complicated when a mistake is made.
Right. And essentially, from our perspective, from Winona State's perspective, the basketball team needs to win, and we can still make the NSIC tournament and the NCAA tournament.
Correct. Like Coach Leaf said the other day, it's back in their hands. It makes it a little more difficult, and that's why I'm glad everybody is ready to come out and support them and rally behind them and hopefully give them those opportunities.
Absolutely. And now getting to Grant specifically, we know he's been ruled ineligible for this season. Is he being allowed to practice with the team?
The rules state that he can practice and he can't travel on the road with them. And what happens in the future, we're still in the process of getting that worked out.
Okay. And will the team? We understand the penalties at this point. Will there be any future penalties next season? That's
for the team. I don't believe so at this point, but we're still we're still looking at all options for everything that's involved there. But this normally would be the case, so we're not looking for any more team penalties to come down, and we're still determining what's happening with everything else.
Okay. And how confident are you that the Winona State basketball team, such a great program, will be able to accept this and overcome what they've been faced with?
Well, it's like everything else. When you have adversity in your life, you're hoping it's a learning situation, and it's something that shouldn't have happened to this group of young men and the coaching staff. But you know, we're doing everything in our power to double check and make sure that it never happens again to anybody else or any of our other teams. That there's a possibility, and hoping that like I said, they're going to be able to accomplish the goals that they set out to accomplish, and to do everything in our power to help them get there.
Yeah. And lastly, you know, what is the message you want to the fans and the community about this program and, you know, what's happened with this situation?
Well, again, that this group of coaches and young men and student athlete have worked very, very hard to represent us in the proper way. We have tried to build our programs here based on that kind of doing things right, following rules and regulations, and that's why we just want the story to be known that the mistake was made, but we have to have them help move on and make sure it doesn't happen again.
Great. Thanks, Larry.
Thanks for having me.
Currently, the Warriors are 5-0 without Johnson and will look to improve that mark starting tonight against Minnesota State Moorhead at 8 and the University of Minnesota Crookston on Saturday at 7. That's going to do it for us on News 24. We want to thank Larry for joining us, and we hope to see you at McCown Gymnasium tonight. For the latest in news, weather, and sports, check us out at www.facebook.com/WSU News 24.